caring for an aging population. It's a common problem all across the world, especially the developed world. And in China, it's putting a long-held tradition to the test. As the nation develops at lightning speed, more people are moving away from home, and elderly parents are left without a safety net. Over the next few nights, we'll be looking at how different countries cope with the end-of-life experience as part of an ongoing series about extremes around the world. We start with the BBC's Martin Patience in Beijing.
China may be a country of change, but it holds on to its past. This is a special day when people visit Buddhist temples, praying for good fortune and remembering those who have died. But there's much which isn't spoken about in Chinese society.
The Chinese actually have a great hesitancy in general to face death as it is. For example, few Chinese ever prepare a will, partially because they thought a will be my remaining last words, and by writing a will, I may actually trigger a death to bring death closer to me.
But China's population is rapidly aging, and that's putting enormous pressure on the young to look after the old. In a country where most people won't even mention death because they think it brings bad luck, it's incredibly difficult to have any discussion about how to care for the terminally ill. But slowly, attitudes are beginning to change. Traditionally, the old die in their homes here, surrounded by family. But Bei Da-chen made the difficult decision and placed her father in a hospice. Bei Junan can't swallow and won't live for long.
At first, we thought that leaving my father here was to abandon him. But we were forced to change our minds. We simply couldn't treat him at home, and it's dangerous to constantly send him to hospitals. He's better off here. He receives good care. And I think when people are old and sick, they should come to places like this.
But the very idea of hospices, the acceptance of death, the provision of care to patients who no longer respond to medical treatment, arouses strong emotions here. The hospice has been forced to move locations 7 times. Locals, believing the building brought bad luck, blocked entrances, preventing families from visiting their dying relatives.
Attitudes have to change. People need to realize that hospices are the best way to care for old people. When children are young, we send them to kindergartens. And when people are old, then hospices are the equivalent of kindergartens. It's the natural cycle of life.
Attitudes to dying have been held for centuries here. To die in dignity is to die at home. And in a culture which chooses not to face up to death, any change will be slow in coming. Martin Patience, BBC News, Beijing.
And do make sure to join us tomorrow when our global look at the end-of-life care continues, this time in India. It's a country where many elderly people don't have access to proper health care, but now a community-based program is trying to lead the way into tending for the aging population. We'll bring you that report as part of our special series.